So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from Team SamX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you guys with my DRACOSLAYER DINOMIST deck profile for you guys today. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. And guys, as I progress through the deck profile, I'll be explaining to you guys all my card choices and the reason why I play them. And guys, if you guys are not here for the deck profile, I completely understand. I'll leave a link in the description box below of the deck list of this deck, so if you guys check that out, that would be absolutely amazing, guys. And of course guys, if you guys haven't yet checked out my other version of my DINOMIST deck profile, I'll leave a link in the description box of that deck profile for you guys as well, because I know that some people may not get access into, of course, Master Pendulums and of course Ignisters and things like that. So I have a more budget friendlier version of course, DINOMIST deck profile in the description box below. So if you guys check that out, that would be absolutely amazing, guys. And of course guys, if you guys haven't yet noticed already, I am finally at 17,000 subscribers, guys. So I just want to say, guys, thank you guys so much for helping me make it this far into the YuGiOh community. You guys are absolutely amazing. I can't thank you guys enough, and I just appreciate you guys all. Thank you guys so much for all your support. You guys are amazing, and let's reach for that 20,000 subscribers very, very soon. So without further ado, guys, let's get started with this DRACOSLAYER DINOMIST deck profile that you guys have all been waiting for. So without further ado, let's get started. And of course, guys, start off with the monsters you want to play. Of course, Triple Dynamis Rex. This card is absolutely amazing. He's basically built-in Ignister, so Dynamis Rex is really, really good for that purpose. He's able to basically shuffle cards from your opponent's hand or on the field right back into your opponent's deck. And the good thing about Dynamis Rex is that it does not target, so Rex is really, really good, really good for that purpose. And of course, guys, this deck is a completely different build from the other version, if you guys haven't yet seen it already. So I'll explain to you guys all my card choices as soon as I show you guys all the monsters. Next, you play, of course, double Dynamis Ceratops. This card is amazing. It has a built-in special summoning effect where, of course, if you do not control another copy of Dynamis Ceratops and you at least control at least one Dynamis monster on the field, and no other cards, I believe. Yeah. What is it called? Yeah, if all monsters you control are Dynamis monsters and you do not control a Dynamis Ceratops, you're able to special summon this card from your hand. So he's essentially a free rank 5 XYZ, and of course he's a free 2,100 meter on board. So Ceratops is really good for that purpose. And last but not least, to round off our level 5s, we only play one Dynamis Brachion. To be honest, guys, this build is a completely different version from the rank 5 spam build. So this deck just mainly focuses on rank 4s in this deck. Level 4 monsters it mainly focuses on. And now I'll explain to you guys why I like to focus on level 4 monsters in this deck rather than always pushing yourself into going to rank 5 XYZs. And the reason being is because this deck requires a lot of resources to be in your extra deck. So you want to see your pendulum monsters go to your extra deck as much as possible. And when you overlay your XYZs, you're wasting a lot of resources just to go into that XYZ. So it's really important to always have extra deck fodder for you to pendulum summon out every single turn. So that's the reason why you don't always want to go XYZ in this deck. So that's why synchroing in this deck is super important. That's why I incorporated the DRACOSLAYER engine into the deck. So Ignister is super amazing, and of course it makes this deck essentially live. So that's pretty much it for rank 5s of the deck. Our level 5s. Why do I keep saying level ranks? It's super weird. So that's pretty much it for our level 5s. Now after level 4s, of course, you play Triple Dynamis Pteran. This card is absolutely amazing, guys. I know in my last deck profile, I called this card Pteran, and the P is silent, so I read all your comments, guys. So it's Pteran. So it's like pterodactyl. So of course the P is silent. So this card is amazing. He's basically a search card in the deck. So when he destroys an opponent's monster by battle, he's able to search up any Dynamis card from your deck to your hand. So he's really good. Searching up the charge is really great as well, and also getting access into the rush is really good. So he can search both the spell and the trap, which I really like about Dynamis Pteran. So Triple Pteran, you want to play, of course, my aside from Rex being my favorite card, this is probably my second favorite card of the deck. Triple Dynamis Plesios. This card is phenomenal. To be honest, guys, this deck basically focuses on more of like an Ignister Plesios control kind of build. So basically, like what you want to focus on is trying to go into your Ignister prominence as fast as possible, and having Plesios on the field basically makes your Ignister essentially really big. And of course, having Ignister Dinoster and of course plesios on board is such an amazing board because they're unable to destroy the plesios because Dinoster prevents your pendulum monsters from being destroyed by battle or by card effects. So of course that's what's really good about the Dinoster. And plesios is really good because it's able to lower down your opponent's monster's attack, and he can combo off really well with Ragnazero. So plesios is really good for that purpose, and he essentially makes all of your Dynamist monsters basically super big. That's what I like about plesios. Absolutely amazing. And last but not least, guys, in my last deck profile, I was butchering on this card, but in this particular build, you need to play triple Dynamist Stegasaur. This card is amazing because it's a level 4, and the reason why you want to maximize yourself on playing the level 4 in this deck rather than level 5s in this deck is because you're playing the DRACOSLAYER engine. So of course you're playing the 1 Master Pendulum and of course the triple Luster Pendulum Dragon. And the reason why you want to play as many level 4s as you can is because Luster Pendulum is a 5 scale, and 5 scales aren't really good in this deck at all because they're unable to pendulum summon out these guys over here, which are all level 5s. So you basically want to focus on basically plesios control, as I said before, and pendulum summoning out your level 4s as much as you can. And of course, guys, the reason why you play Master Pendulum in here is because so you can free yourself to be able to special summon, of course, level 5 monsters. So let's say that you're stuck with Luster Pendulum in your pendulum scale, and if you have a Master Pendulum, you can Master Pendulum, pop your Luster Pendulum, then you can activate your 6th scale, then you can pendulum out your level 5s and things like that. So that's what's really good about Master Pendulum. And guys, Luster Pendulum is really good in this deck because this deck always strives to get as many resources as much as possible. It's really important to get your resources into your extra deck as much as possible. So that's why Luster Pendulum is there. This card is really good. He basically adds more extra deck fodder into your deck. That's why I really love about Luster Pendulum. And of course, Ignister is such a broken card. So I was like, you know what, you might as well play triple Luster Pendulum and Dragon. And the really good thing about Luster Pendulum is that let's say that you open up, let's say with this on the field. Okay, so let's say that you have these 3 cards in your hand for your opening hand, and it doesn't matter what else you have. Okay, so you can have 2 spell cards, 2 trap cards. It doesn't really matter. But as long as you open up these guys, you're really good. And it doesn't really matter what pendulum monster they are, but I'm just using plesios and stegasaur as an example. Having 3, 6, and 5 skills in your hand is really good, especially with Ignister, with Luster Pendulum. So what you would do with his hand is that you're going to activate these 2 cards in your scales, then you're going to activate Luster Pendulum to basically pop your plesios. So you pop your plesios. This is in your extra deck, guys. I'm going to prove this as an extra deck, and this is the card you have in your hand. So what you're going to do at this point is you're going to basically add another plesios to your hand. So these are your hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to activate Stegasaur's effect. And the reason being why you want to play triple Stegasaur is because he's 3 scale, and 3 scales are really important in this deck because it makes Luster Pendulum and of course any other 3 scale be able to pump pendulum out any level 4 monsters, which is super amazing. So now you have a plesios in your extra deck and a plesios in your hand. Now what you're going to do at this point is pendulum summon out these 2 cards over here. Okay, and it's really important just to keep these 2 cards on board because one, if your Dynamist monsters were to ever be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can always activate Stegasaur's effect to destroy Stegasaur itself and protecting your plesios. So it's really good. And since you have 3 Dynamist monsters on the board and you have 2 double plesios on the board, your opponent monsters will lose 600 attack and defense, which is super big. So plesios can basically beat over anything that's 2300 or lower, which is super amazing for that purpose. And of course, next turn, what you can do as well is you can always add more extra deck fodder into your extra deck. So what you can do is that you're gonna activate so you're gonna draw 1 card. Doesn't matter what you draw. You're gonna activate Luster Pendulum to pop your Dynamist Stegasaur, add another Stegasaur to your hand. So basically, the reason why you want to maximize yourself playing the level 4s is because you want to utilize Luster Pendulum as much as possible. Because you know what, he can always pop the level 4s and gain more advantage to your hand. So he's really good for that purpose. And now you're gonna activate Dynamist Stegasaur again. Then you pendulum summon any other level 4s you have. And at this point, if you draw pteran, you're in a great position right here because you're able to summon out the pteran. And let's say that you top deck a pteran for your monsters. And now this is your board right here. Okay, this is your board right now. Right? Yeah, that's your board right now. And these are your scales right here. So this is your scales, and this is your board. What you do is that since you control double plesios and of course Stegasaur and Dynamist pteran, and of course you score have a Stegasaur in your extra deck, no, not extra deck, in your pendulum zone, what's going to happen is that since you control 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you control double plesios, your opponent's monsters will lose 1,000 attack and defense, which is pretty big. So so pteran can essentially just attack, get a free search. Let's say you search a charge, and now you can just generate more advantage to your hand. So you know what, this is really good, and it all requires a one-turn setup. Like all you need is literally a Luster Pendulum, plesios, and any other 3 scale, which is really good. So that's why I really love about Luster Pendulum. He just basically generates more extra deck fodder, and of course he generates more resources for you to use. And at this point, you never want to do so. If you open up this board, you'll never ever want to overlay the double plesios first turn, because there's no point of overlaying 2 plesios. It doesn't matter. You're just gonna gain. You're definitely gonna benefit more, but having double plesios on board rather than always XYZ into these 2. And the reason being is because as soon as you XYZ, all your materials will go to the graveyard, and nothing will go back into your extra deck, which is the thing that you want to avoid the most, because what is it called? Dinomists needs to use their extra deck as much as possible. So that's what's really good about this first turn kind of play that you guys can do. So yeah, so Luster Pendulum is really good for that purpose. And of course, Master Pendulum basically frees Luster Pendulum into your extra deck so you can activate your 6 scales. So you activate Master Pendulum, pop your Luster Pendulum. If you were to have a 6 scale, activate your 6 scale. Then you can just Pendulum summon out all your 5s and things like that. So it's really good. And of course, as I said before, Ignister is such an amazing card against the Cosmo matchup and things like that. So Ignister is just phenomenal. So yeah, guys. So that's pretty much it for our monster lineup. And of course, what else do I want to say about this lineup? If you open up a double Luster Pendulum, let's say this, you open a double Luster Pendulum and a plesios, and especially if you're going second, and let's say you have another 3 scale, it doesn't matter what you have. I'll use stegasaur as an example. If you don't have these 2, you're already in a great position at this point, is because you can always what you can do is you can activate a Luster Pendulum and of course a plesios. Basically add a plesios. No, yeah, what you can do is you can activate these 2. You pop 1, I think. Yeah, you pop 1. You add 1 to your hand. Yeah, you add 1 to your hand. And what you can do at this point is that you can activate. No, you don't. Don't do that. Don't do that, because there's no 4th target. Don't do that. Never. No. Well, you can. Yeah, you can. You can. Now you activate your 3 scale. And now you pendulum summon out these guys over here. And first turn, you can essentially go into what is it? You can go into what is it? Ignister already, so it's pretty good. But that's a terrible example. Don't follow that. Don't follow that. Yeah. And of course, let's go on to the spells. Let's skip that. Let's go into the spells. You want to play, of course, triple Dynamis Charge. This card is actually absolutely amazing. You guys know what Dynamis Charge does. This card is amazing. It's a 10 key, and of course, basically, if your opponent wavering eyes you, and let's say that you have of course, a pteran and a 6 scale. So of course, so let's say that you have these 2. Okay. So you have these 2 in your scales, and you have a double Dynamis Charge on the board. Okay. No, let's say, yeah, you have a Dynamis Charge on the board, and you have these 2 cards in your scale. So basically, your opponent Wavering Eyes, so as soon as they activate Wavering Eyes, you're going to activate Pteran's effect to protect your Dynamis Rex from being destroyed by Wavering Eyes. Then, of course, Pteran will go back into your extra deck, and Dynamis Charge will activate, adding the Pteran back to your hand. So you literally did not lose anything, and you just protected your Rex. So next turn, you can always add it to your scale again, and just pendulum summon out as many monsters as you can, depending on the amount of cards you have in your extra deck or things like that. So it's really good about the charge. It basically adds more advantage, but yeah, it basically adds more, generates more advantage, which is what I really like about charge. So you want to play, of course, triple charge, absolutely amazing. And the good thing about charge is that it's searchable off the Pteran, which I really like. So triple charge, the most important card of the deck, other than Dynamis Charge, you want to play triple Wavering Eyes. This card is phenomenal, especially in this version, is because believe it or not, guys, you want to send Luster Pendulum to your pendulum into your extra deck as fast as possible, because you always want to free yourself from always special summoning a level 5 monster. So basically, once he's in your scale, as I explained before, you're essentially locked from special summoning level 5s. So once you have Wavering Eyes, so let's say you open up the hand that I showed you guys before. It doesn't matter what you guys have. Yeah, it really doesn't matter. So let's say you have this hand. Okay. Essentially, you can make Ignister first turn already, and you can special summon level 5 monsters with just this hand, because of Wavering Eyes is just really good. Since it's just literally, so what you can do at this point is if you open up this hand, Luster Pendulum with Raving Eyes is really, really self-explanatory. Like, all you need is a Luster Pendulum with Raving Eyes and any two Pendulum monsters. It doesn't really matter. You activate Luster Pendulum, activate pteran, activate Luster to pop pteran. You add another pteran from your deck to your hand. At this point, what you can do is you can activate what is it? Rex. Yeah, so you activate Rex. You activate Rex. You activate Raving Eyes. Pop your 2 scales. Yeah, cool. This is your extra deck right here. You pop your 2 scales. You add literally a 6 scale. Let's say you add another Rex to your hand. Okay, you activate these 2. Activate these 2. Pen out these guys. And at this point, you can enter battle phase, or you can just go into Ignister. Yeah, you can go Ignister and things like that, which is really, really good. So, like, it all depends if on what you're facing against. You go into Ignister and things like that, which is really, really good. So as you guys can see, you always want to free yourself from the Luster Pendulum lock, so you're able to special summon out level 5 monsters, which is really, really important. So Raving Eyes, as you guys can see, has a lot of utility in this deck, which I really, really like. So yeah, so triple Raving Eyes is really good. Adds advantage to your extra deck, and of course adds card from your deck to your hand, and it's an absolute blowout against a Pepe matchup as well. So Raving Eyes is really, really good. And of course, you play double Instant Fusion. Instant Fusion is amazing in this version, especially like if you discard monsters from your, if you discard monsters to activate Twin Twister. Instant Fusion is really good since it's able to provide back any monsters that happens to be sent to the graveyard by an XYZ material. So Instant Fusion is really great. Bring back Norden and just revive back your plesios and things like that. It's really, really good. And of course, you can also Instant Fusion into a Panzer Dragon. Helping you go into Cyber Dragon Infinity is really good as well. So Instant Fusion is really great for that purpose, and it's a great utility card, especially in this deck. So double Instant Fusion. I played the one Limiter Removal. This card basically can generate a lot of OTKs in this deck, and I currently cannot find a Limiter Removal, so this is a Limiter Removal, guys. Next, you play double Twin Twister. Getting rid of back rows is really important, and freeing yourself. No, what is it called? And any chance that you get into pushing for damage in this deck is really important, and you always want your attacks to go through. So Twin Twister is really good, especially comboing off with Rex. Amazing. This card's really good. Next, play, of course, last but not least, one Raigeki. Same purpose. You wanna put out as many monsters on board as much as possible, and Raigeki helps you deal with big problematic boards. So Raigeki is really important for that purpose. So that's pretty much it for our spells. Now off to our traps. You play, of course, triple Dynamis Rush. The trap cards, the trap cards in this deck is really standard and is really, yeah, it's just really standard. The triple Rush, this card's amazing. It basically adds more board presence on the board, and also helps you tutor out your Dynamis monsters from your deck faster. And of course, it helps you go into your rank 4 XYZ plays, and of course helps you go into your rank 5 XYZ plays as well. And it basically makes Ignister more alive. So let's say that you were happen to have what's it called, a Luster Pendulum, and you didn't draw into any monsters, and you draw into a double Rush or things like that. You're already in a great position since you're able to rush and bring out Dynamis monster directly from your deck, and your opponent cannot like bottomless it or anything because it'll be unaffected by other card effects. And at that point, you can always synchro summon into Ignister and things like that. So Dynamis Rush is really good for that purpose, and it also adds tons of board presence, and it helps you, you know, yeah, it just adds a lot of board presence and helps you push more for damage. So Rush is really good, and you don't have to be afraid of anything because as soon as any monster that's being brought out by Rush is unaffected by your opponent's card effects anyways. So you don't have to be scared of Stormy Mirror Force or Mirror Force or things like that. So you're in a really great position. So it's basically like a free damage card. So Rush is really good. Next, you play, of course, double Grandhorn of Heaven. The reason why I play Grandhorn of Heaven is because I cannot afford Solemn Strikes. So if you guys have Solemn Strikes, I repeat, exchange Solemn Strikes for these 2 cards. But that's just my personal opinion. This card is really, really good. And the good thing about Grandhorn of Heaven is that it basically skips a phase. So let's say that your opponent were to try to Pendulum Summon in main phase 1. Well, they have to, of course. And of course, you Grandhorn them. They draw a card, and they skip automatically into the battle phase. And they can't do it. If they have no monsters, they can't even attack during their battle phase. And then it just automatically goes to their main phase 2. And if they try to Pendulum Summon out, another situation is where if your opponent tries to Pendulum Summon in their main phase 2, you can activate Grandhorn of Heaven, they draw a card, and they just automatically have to end their turn. So Grandhorn of Heaven is really great for that purpose. But if you guys have a Solemn Strikes, definitely play Solemn Strikes for these cards because I want to have as many Pendulum negations as much as possible. So, and of course, yeah, that's the reason being. So one Grandhorn of Heaven. And of course, next you play one Horn of Heaven. This card is phenomenal. I actually might even want to bump this card up to 2 because of the combos that you can do with Charge. Well, it's not really a combo. But it's like a standard play that you can do. I do this a lot actually. So once I have a Horn of Heaven and a Dinomist monster, what you can do at this point is that you can Horn of Heaven your opponent on whatever that they're trying to do. You tribute off the pteran, and of course it goes to your extra deck. Then you Dinomist Charge will activate, adding back the pteran from your extra deck to your hand automatically. And of course, essentially this is like a free solemn warning right there because you have to charge. So it's really good. Horn of Heaven is really amazing as well. Next you play the one bottomless, one solemn warning, and last but not least, one vanitys emptiness to run off our traps, and of course with the triple Dinomist rush. So that's pretty much it for our traps. Not a lot of traps in this deck. So that's it. Now off to our extra deck. Extra deck is really up to personal preference, but is what I play so far. You guys can play whatever you guys like and whatever suits your play styles. But this is just like, you know, an overview on some of the cards that you guys may want to consider playing or things like that, because I love giving you guys options. So triple Maxi, of course, for the Pepe matchup, really good. Maxi is really essential in this format. One Thunder King YuGiOh, a blow against the Pepe matchup. This card is really good. One Chimera Attack. I played 2 side blockers. This card's amazing. Really good. A double Imperial Nile Wall because I hate the Cosmo matchup. One Mystical Space Typhoon. If you guys had a third Twin Twister, definitely play this instead of a Mystical Space Typhoon. Double Cyber Dragon Core, and of course, a double Cyber Dragon. Really good. And of course, if I had a second Chimera Attack, I would definitely play in the second Chimera Attack. But Cyber Dragon is used for because it's a free summon, and of course, helps you go into your, what is it called? Your rank. Your rank 5 XYZ plays. So that's pretty much it for our monsters. Not monsters, our side deck. Now off into your extra deck you play, of course, double Ignister. This card is phenomenal. This card basically makes the whole entire DRACOSLAYER engine viable. This card is amazing. Without this card, there'll be no DRACOSLAYER engine. The card is phenomenal. It basically doesn't target, bounce back the Cosmo Dark Destroyers or things like that. And of course, it deals against the Pepe matchup as well. Pops their scales, bounce back their scales. Really good. I love the Ignister. And Ignister is just super viable in this deck, you know, with Wavering Eyes and of course Twin Twister. You know, at the very worst, what you can do if you want to lock yourself from especially level 5s, you can always Twin Twister your own Master Pendulum and things like that, and it will just go straight into your extra deck. Then you can always Pendulum summon it out again and go into Ignister and things like that. So Ignister is really great for that purpose. And I said before, I always want to maximize myself when playing Master Pendulum, is because I want to see this card as much as possible because he just generates tons of advantage in his deck. That's what I love about Master Pendulum. And of course, he makes this guy, which is phenomenal. So Master Ignister. Next you play, of course, the Dinoster. This card is amazing. Basically protects your plesios and things like that. Really good. Dinoster and Ignister first turn with, of course, a plesios is such an amazing board. They basically can't stop anything. Plesio basically makes your opponent monsters lose attacks, and of course, this protects your scales, and this is just a big beater on board, and next turn you can bounce back stuff, so which is really good. So one Dinoster, amazing, and it has a big booty as well. One Panzer Dragon because you can go instant fusion into it. Next you play, where is it? The one Norden, really good. Now off to our level 4s, you play Abyss Dweller, Ragnazero. Ragnazero basically combos off really well with plesios. That's what I really like about Ragnazero. One Unarc, one zen-maioh, one castel. What is it called? One castel, one Gaia Charger, one Durendale, one volcasaurus. Last but not least, one Cyber Dragon Nova, and last but not least, one Cyber Dragon Infinity to round off our extra deck. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. And guys, I actually been accumulating some duel videos of me playing with this deck. This deck is just phenomenal, super fun. So if you guys want to see duel videos, give this video 200+ likes. I have some crazy combo duel videos that you guys can do with this deck. I'll show you guys on how the deck works if you guys really want me to. So if you guys give this video 200+ likes, let's do it, guys. I'll definitely be uploading a duel replay commentary of this, of me playtesting this deck. So I really hope you guys enjoy this deck profile. If you guys enjoyed this video, give this video 200+ likes for that duel video. And of course, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are absolutely amazing. For those of you who actually stayed for 23 minutes of your lives, you guys are amazing. I love you guys all. You guys are such amazing people. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. And of course, this is Sam from Team Sounds of Sam signing out. Peace out, guys.